2010 was, without a doubt, that World Cup was just the biggest party ever to have hit South Africa. Now, I was lucky to have attended, I think it's 13 games around the country. I attended virtually all of the ones that were staged in Cape Town. I consumed the World Cup, but I did so as an ambassador of CapeTalk. It was almost with the station's blessing that I was out and about, just attending as many soccer matches as I could. We started out the World Cup campaign on the morning of the very first game on top of an open-top bus. We were broadcasting live, driving through the streets of Cape Town. A mobile broadcast that was kind of unheard of at the time. And it was so cool just seeing people come out in all sorts of shirts that were lining the streets. We had clients, we had listeners. You know, on one of these Cape Town open-top red buses, it was just so cool to see the vibe. And you've got to understand the context. People had forecast doom and gloom that FIFA would pull the World Cup out of South Africa. We wouldn't have the wherewithal. Our infrastructure couldn't deal with all of it. And come day one of the World Cup arriving, and people, I think, being confronted with the reality that this monster world event was happening on South African soil. There was just a sense of euphoria. You might remember there was very little serious crime over that month. Schools were closed. You know, there was just a festive party vibe in the air. It happened pretty much without incident. The only two things that stand out about that World Cup, if you've got to look at things that went wrong, one was Paris Hilton's plane on a runway in Durban, blocking commercial airlines from landing. That was the one thing. The other was a game in Bloem that I actually was at. England scored a goal and it was disallowed, even though the angle shows that the ball landed way behind the goal line. That was South Africa having put its best foot forward for the 4 weeks of the World Cup. It's something I think we've lost sight of, but something we should still be celebrating.